This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Hi, Andy. So first off, I just wanted to ask you, what did you know about our Address Teen Stress project?
Yeah, so what I Anna has told me at your page, it seems like you guys are a group that's really designed to help maybe, high achieving students or not high students, but just any student with who are stressed out about the school, the personal life, it really could be, and basically helping them address issues positive like enforcement, and I think it's a pretty noble mission as we're trying to.
Yeah. Yeah. So Address Teen Stress is an organization founded by us high school girls. It's in order to address teen stress, which is something that doesn't really get talked about a lot. So we have different series, like we have a series called Teen Stories Told, where we share the stories of teens and their mental health stories, and we give them a platform to highlight specific teenagers and beyond the brain, which is where we talk to like psychologists, therapists, and get a different viewpoint of mental illnesses and mental awareness in a teen standpoint. So yeah.
Mm, yeah, sounds great. I guess.
So, moving on, do you think you could tell us a little bit about yourself, just extracurriculars you've done, your passion, how college life is like, just things like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, sure. So I'm a junior in college, double major, so in econ CS, which is it's a lot, but that's how life goes. And I'm actually really involved in like my college like fraternity now, which is a bit I guess weird. I would be the last person I would think of and be rushing a fraternity, but it's been an experience, and I definitely stress relief me kind of focusing on, and I've also a lot like my startup stuff that I'm doing ever since high school that started pandemic, and that's kind of revolving like the stock and basically create pools there. So I guess I keep myself busy. I am really into business. I guess that's kind of what I would like to do in the long term. I'm still figuring out what I want to do in college, but I'll figure something out in the next couple months and kind of dedicate myself to it. And I just try to stay grounded and do a lot to keep myself busy.
For sure, for sure.
All right. So, how would you define mental health, and why do you believe that mental health is important to prioritize for your mental well being?
Mental health. I think kind of it's not really uh I guess thing that kind of stays constant. It's an ebb and a flow in terms of your mental like state or your um, well being, right? At that very moment, define what your health is at the time, and usually it's like it positive, negative could be really anything, and it's really the culmination of kind of what you're feeling at the time on past or maybe upcoming events and define your mental state, and that really over time I think that leads to your overall health in terms of it like or you it to be good or you could proceed to be like for example I would say my mental health right even though I have a lot of things going on in my life is pretty like stable, but that may not be the case for folks, and maybe for other people's health could what they define as good but might be less than ideal. So I think that everyone's interpretation on mental health and your best, and kind of that leads back to the second point is kind of part of things your mental being is give live a, and how you fulfillment and enjoyment and fulfillment in the things that you do. So it's really important to prioritize your health. I guess above some um, short-term goals you have. It's kind of like life's a marathon. You should try enjoy it, I guess, as we go through the phases of life.
Yes, absolutely. So we know you are a student at Dartmouth right now. What has been the most stressful thing about being a college student?
Sure. So I would say that basically I will answer it too because I think professors have changed over time. For the first like year and a half, it was definitely academics since transitioning. It's like everyone that goes there is a top of their school, top of their class, or maybe top of their city and so trying to acclimate to that environment is definitely difficult. Standards that professors have you are really high. So that took a while to really readjust. I dealt with a lot of stuff then. But I as you go through the terms and figure it out, what the stressors have changed into like figuring out what the college job career because kind of growing in a household as the oldest in the family, maybe Anna can relate to this. I think there's a lot of pressure that maybe parents don't explicitly impose, but implicitly push on you to kind of like you're the one that figures stuff and kind of lead for the rest of your life and be prosperous and whatnot, and also to not waste your education, blah blah blah. Right? That's things that I deal with every day and kind of just I try to keep the thought balance and like get deep, but the uncertainty of what's happening in the future is definitely a scary thought, and I'm the battle with you know networking jobs like gaining, but it's definitely a stressor, and maybe over get better, but I think it's good to have a bit of stress that keeps you going, like keep goals. But yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about your journey throughout high school, especially moving to a new school, how that impacted your mental health, and how you cope with that stress?
yeah, sure. So, um, I date my freshman year at I guess my like high school, those two, and I loved it. It was had a lot of friends, a lot of like activity. I'm there, but my family was in, I guess, very agricultural area, and I couldn't stay. So I applied to essentially like a boarding school kind of vibe in at uni. And to transition there, I will say the first year or so, the first semester was tough because like the jump into like high school education, like full education. I think the bigger struggle with social ed was basically when you get thrust into a dormitory of 100 students, all around the same age together. There's a lot of drama that happens, and a lot of so to find your people and to find like, your friend group connections. And it's definitely it was definitely tough then, and mental health definitely took a couple of steps because of actions of some supposed friend time, which impacted me. But that is really made me stronger in terms of figuring out that I guess my method with the stress step was being a lot more effective on things that I had into my life and kind of like what I, and my values were defined during the experience. Once I had more like moral compass, this I guess compass what I would prefer or what I can provide my friends like values really helps me with this like stress and give me that to just be myself and not really set like a facade, to try to get attention or to because that real long term doesn't and really only just negatively mental health.
For sure, for sure. So adding on to that, you've always participated in a lot of activities and extracurriculars while maintaining a demanding schedule. So how do you like even today, how do you cope with what are strategies you found that like helped you accommodate to these challenges and struggles and how have they changed as you went into college?
Yeah, sure. So I guess in high school, right? Like
Mhm.
the way that dealt with I guess like doing theses, doing research, keeping up with like grades, etc. I think the people I really also kind of in the same boat as them, and it's like, like eventually we get to a really hard class, all your friends, and you kind of like together with a bad teacher, whatnot. Sure, the situation sucks, but you're together and this camaraderie like push you together and forget about struggles because you kind of all in like the rut, and then when you make like you feel really proud and you kind of channel energy the collective together to really with stress and you kind of forget your personal problems and I guess tackle the issues as a group. But I guess to college, that kind of will like effectiveness and with each other kind of go and you're back to being independent, right? And I definitely ran into some motivation in terms of like I have so many things I want to do, but it seems so daunting. Like I can't. I guess you feel like get it all, and then you slump, right? And what I found to be helpful, like every week I would make like all the things I would be doing, right? In terms of like project big goals for a class could be like this club often, etc. And then I write like one or two for each like yes thing I'm doing to get done, and it must be done. And then kind of like through that checklist by one, right? It gives me this small sense of like it's gratification when I finish it, and then to do the next. But also compartmentalize like once life I want all activities very micro pieces that much more approachable and actionable, right? So I think actions are a really good way to keep yourself motivated, work towards your bigger goals.
Awesome. So, in your opinion, what role does the community in college play in promoting mental health and support for their students?
Sure. So like definitely, well, there's a lot of like mental health like, but usually I will find that the effectiveness next based friends that have gone to therapy or like I guess to college or like say every time there's like a student after college or there's always mental health resource out and I it works for some, but certainly it's not like be all and also to the so the community's role really you can't rely on college to get to mental health for you, even though they try in the way, but it's not the same when people that are like four times your age to tackle problems that you're dealing with, there's disconnect between how you see the problem, see the problem. So it's really the community at the student body's kind of like job to pick up the slack in terms of like let's say see someone that's like acting like them or I know something's up instead of just lazing over I would approach them like hey like what's up like are you doing okay? Kind of like approach it like a bit seriously maybe a friend doesn't say anything then fine right at least by acknowledging the problem of reinforce I'll be there for them with my presence I think that gives them at least some kind of not motivation essentially that there's someone them and will support them. So when they do want to open, if they do need to do like need help, they know I'll be there. And conversely, also the case, friends mention over me and I'm feeling that come over and kind of help me through my as well. I think that's the of community that's conducive to reinforcing positive mental health, I guess, habits and keeping everyone, I guess, like healthy and happy.
That is really good to hear. So to finish off, what's some advice you would give to someone that's struggling with their mental health, or like just your message to our Address Teen Stress audience?
Yeah, sure. This, I guess, a bit tough advice since when you're going through, let's say, any mental health problem, or like good about yourself or anything like that, you tend to want to kind of keep it to yourself. You sharing to us is a sign of weakness, and especially if you're a top performer at your school, you never want to show weakness to other people in the fear that your position could be graded, or you challenges, I guess, like societal, like, I guess, backlash. But really, from my experience, I found that keeping it in is really not what you like. It's not, doesn't work like ever, and it's always better off if or really take the risk, be brave, and let other kind of into your circle. It have to be really, you have to air your problems for everyone, but find people like your parents, from your immediate friends that you trust and confide your issues with. Sometimes you don't even need them to your problems, but having someone to talk to, or able to open up to people, is a skill I think that many people lack. And I think if you're able to overcome the initial fear, um, I really think that a lot of problems can be solved this way, in terms of and kind of um, as a start.
All right, thank you so much, Andy, for this interview. Addressing Stress really appreciates your time, and I just think it's really cool that you got to share your story with us. Is there any questions you have for us?
I would say, I you guys are planning on being like events, in-person events for this, or is it more of like your, what's your, um, I guess, sounds like a good business, but I kind of like, what's your, you have a strategy to kind of like message to other people, maybe not word of, but more like rigid examples of you guys like sparing. I think this is like pretty important to share to others and make others aware of. So I was wondering.
So right now, it's mostly just been virtual and digital since it hasn't even been a year for us. So this October, it'll be a year. And so we are definitely going to be planning to do like in-person events and things. We are definitely going to be thinking about like fundraising things in the future in order to earn money to do in-person events. And we have some plans, but for now, it's mostly been via virtual, doing interviews and sharing different platforms and insight from different individuals to our platform. But that's definitely something that we will be looking into.
And it's for like all from like the same like district, like all from Keller, or is this more like, I guess, across the continent of the United States?
Well, me and Hannah are both from the Killer IC district, but this like organization is kind of for everyone. It's just anybody that wants to listen kind of thing. So
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Did you go to Central?
yes. Yeah.
I see. How like how the experience? I talked to him about this, but I guess how is it so far? Enjoy your time, or is it rough?
Sorry?
Oh, I was asking, like, how do you enjoy your experience at Central so far?
Oh,
Like some positive, some con.
so I'm gonna be a senior this year, and then Hannah's gonna be a junior. So junior year was kind of really rough for me for some reason, because of handling like AP classes. I mean, I think you know that, handling AP classes and extracurriculars and leadership positions and stuff like that. But I mean, I think Central gets a lot of hate for some reason, like comparing to the other high schools like Keller and Timber and stuff like that. But I've had an interesting experience. I definitely think that Central's given me a lot of opportunities in order to grow myself. Like HOSA is something that I've been part of now for like all 4 years. And I've definitely grown a lot because of that organization and stuff. So
Host definitely great. It's only different one year, but I was like very involved in HOSA.
Yeah.
I guess, do you enjoy the competitions, like traveling around and I guess going to representing like Central? Because I know Central has a really decent FA and host on, at least on like national scene. So like I'm glad to hear that it's still, I guess, tuning to this day. So
yeah.
I guess your upcoming season. So how do you feel about college admissions and that process? What's your head right now, kind of?
I'm like definitely there's so many different like colleges and they all offer very different things and similar things, and it's just very hard right now for me to like choose like one like a couple that I actually really would be passionate going to, because there's so many, especially like in Texas too, in state and out of state. There's so many different universities. So right now I'm kind of just hunting down like what would be the college that I would want to spend like 4 years in. What about you, Hannah?
I think for me, I'm still like navigating like what I want to do in the future. So I'm kind of just like taking whatever for now. But I think as long as I find something that I'm really passionate about, I'll be able to like more centralize my path. But
I mean, you're a junior, like technically even college like sophomores are not expected to know what they want to do. Even
right.
you think you know what you want, but trust me, life hits starts happening and goals change. But I think always I guess it's important to actually have like a goal of what you want and to change in the future. And I think you still have a lot of time to figure and a lot to still round out the application. And I mean, y'all need help with college advice. I'll be here. And
Thank you.
like half of my friends are
For sure.
college admissions students, and it's like, I mean, I know way more than I should about Dartmouth. But that's but to you guys that like you guys are doing no mission good venture.
So I just wanted to ask you if you could send us, or I guess send Hannah, a picture of you for like when we make our post, and then just one regular photo, and maybe a couple like of you with your friends in action in college. If that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay,
I'll find some stuff.
and then also like one kind of heartwarming, silly, fun fact about you that we could add on your like description. So it's yeah.
Okay.
Some
Cool.
ones that we got in the past were like somebody is really good at doing like an Animal Crossing expression. Someone has like 3 hot sauces on everything they eat. Like just like kind of something like
Okay, okay.
yeah, something unique about you.
Mhm.
Text that to Hannah. Yeah. If there's nothing else, I really appreciate your time and your like knowledge and everything. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care.